Welcome to today's Explainer. You know that hilarious primal monkey advice floating around out there? Well, we're taking that and translating it into hard biological science to help you completely optimize your health, your drive, and your energy. We're going to break down the exact biological mechanisms that dictate how you feel every single day, and we're going to do it by looking at some incredibly simple, foundational lifestyle changes. Picture this, a highly relatable scenario from our source material. Our protagonist, the monkey, wakes up with absolutely zero energy. He's experiencing the dreaded soft, floppy banana, and honestly, he's getting zero attention from the lady monkeys. And what's worse, the female monkeys can instinctively tell which males actually have that high primal drive, leaving our exhausted monkey completely ignored. So what is actually going on here? Well, the invisible culprit completely ruining our monkey's life is low testosterone. This hormone is literally the absolute foundation of male vitality. When it drops, it directly tanks your sex drive, drains your energy, and totally kills your motivation. But the good news, and really the core focus of our explainer today, is that you can fix this, and you can naturally wake up with that big, primal energy. Let's jump right into Pillar 1, sleep and circadian rhythms. Here's the deal. Most of your daily testosterone, it's produced while you're in deep sleep. Without that deep sleep, you are basically guaranteeing a low hormone environment. So following this exact 4-step sleep maxing protocol is absolutely non-negotiable. You need 7 to 9 hours in complete pitch black darkness. You have to cut caffeine by 2 p.m. so it's totally flushed from your system. And you must anchor your circadian rhythm by going to bed and waking up at the exact same time every single day. Actually, let's talk about that 4th step. Morning sunlight, because it is so incredibly vital. It activates something called the skin gonad axis. Getting that sunlight directly on your skin the minute you wake up, it literally flips the biological switch on your hormone production. It's your body's way of saying, okay, it's morning, time to start pumping out testosterone. Moving right along to Pillar 2, diet, fat, and the kitchen. Listen to this because it's absolutely crucial. Fat cells aren't just dead weight sitting on your body. They are hormonally active. They produce an enzyme called aromatase. And what aromatase does is actively hijack your hard-earned testosterone and convert it straight into estrogen. The more excess fat tissue you carry around, the more aromatase you produce, literally draining your testosterone levels from the inside out. Because of that whole aromatase effect, we have this magic number, 12 to 15%. That represents the absolute optimal body fat percentage for peak testosterone production. It's the physiological sweet spot where your biology is finally working with you instead of against you. You see, biology really punishes the extremes. If you drop too lean, say below 12%, your body essentially enters a nutrient deficit and just starves its own hormone production. But on the flip side, if you're too soft and pushing above 20%, you are basically drowning your body in estrogen because of that aromatase enzyme we just talked about. So, how do we hit that optimal body fat zone? Well, you have to remember that losing fat happens in the kitchen, not the gym. You've got to quit the processed, sugary junk food and switch entirely over to whole foods. But equally important, maybe even more so, you must consume enough healthy fats. Why? Because testosterone is physically produced from cholesterol. Without the right dietary fats, your body doesn't even have the raw materials to build the hormone in the first place. All right, let's get into Pillar 3, the primal supplement stack. This specific whole food supplement stack gives you the exact essential trace minerals you need. We're talking zinc for testosterone production right there in the monkey balls, and the absolute easiest way to get it is just snacking on cashew nuts. You also want selenium to keep your sperm healthy, which you can get by eating exactly 3 Brazil nuts per day. Literally, no more, no less, because they are incredibly potent. Then you combine this with B12 and a really powerful mountain herb called ashwagandha. Think of your hormones like a giant biological seesaw. Cortisol, that's your stress hormone, and testosterone are both created from the exact same building block, cholesterol. So if your body is super stressed out and just pumping out cortisol, it physically cannot make testosterone. They're fighting for the same resources. That's why ashwagandha is a game changer. It actively lowers your cortisol, which frees up that cholesterol to become testosterone instead. Next up is Pillar 4, cutting out the poisons. If your energy and drive actually means something to you, we have to look at what you are poisoning your body with. Our source material humorously mentions quitting a 500 cigarette a day habit, but hey, the core point stands. Smoking, alcohol, processed junk, and sugary drinks are actively attacking your biology. Try cutting these 4 physical poisons completely out of your life for at least 30 days. Just give your body one single month to see the hormonal reset. But physical poisons aren't the only threat to our monkey here. The constant overstimulation of the modern mind, that is a direct, measurable biological attack on your hormones. Honestly, your brain doesn't know the difference between a physical threat in the wild and digital overstimulation. When you engage with these high dopamine digital inputs, whether that's constantly comparing yourself on social media, consuming adult content, hanging out on gambling sites, or just getting bombarded by useless ads, it constantly spikes your cortisol. When these digital inputs trigger your stress response, they force your body to abandon testosterone production entirely just to deal with the perceived mental threat. Finally, we hit Pillar 5, exercise for higher output. Targeted exercise is just mandatory for hormonal upgrade. There's no way around it. Heavy compound lifts and fast sprinting literally send a direct demand signal to your body to boost testosterone. And please, don't skip the cardio. It builds much healthier blood vessels, which directly improves blood flow, giving you a significantly better, healthier banana response when it matters most. And that brings us right back full circle. When you execute these 5 pillars, locking in that deep sleep, eating healthy fats while cutting the junk, utilizing natural trace minerals, detoxing from digital and physical poisons, and demanding more from your body through exercise, our metaphorical monkey fully reclaims his primal vitality. The science is absolutely clear, and the biological steps are laid out right in front of us. We know exactly how the mechanism works now. So, my question to you is this. Are you going to accept the modern world's baseline and remain the exhausted monkey, or will you take control of your primal biology today?